dumbbell bridge. So the dumbbell bridge is going to be the exact same mechanics as just a normal glute bridge, or just a bridge from the floor, or a bridge with a barbell. It's just a way for us to add some sort of load. Maybe the barbell is too much load for you. Maybe the barbell is uncomfortable. Maybe you can't feel your glutes firing. Whatever. It's just a different way for us to create a stimulus or a load that goes into those hip extensors. So when you're doing a bridge, really there's multiple ways that we can do a bridge. We can do a bridge that gets after our hamstring a little bit. We can do a bridge that gets after our glute. And we can do a bridge that goes after our low back. But in this particular example, we are focused on a bridge for our glutes. So your setup position matters most in terms of which muscle groups that we're going after. So for the glutes, we want to go to our back. And then I like to have my knees bent well past 90 degrees. So 90 degrees would be my thigh relative to my lower leg bone. So if I get my knee bent past 90, and then the cue I like is take your low back and push it into the floor. So when you push your low back into the floor, you tuck your hips under you, and that puts a little bit of tension in your glutes to begin with. And then if I grab a dumbbell and I place my dumbbell right on the front of my hip bones, what I'm doing is I'm keeping my low back into the ground. I'm pushing my feet flat through the floor as I drive my hip bones toward the ceiling. And what you should feel is your glutes contracting. You'll feel a little bit of a tension across the top of your quads. But what you shouldn't feel is a ton of tension in your low back and a ton of activation in your hamstrings, because we're trying to use your glutes to create hip extension by driving those hip bones toward the ceiling and then coming back down. So play with your setup. If you don't feel that, if you really feel it in your back, you're losing your tensioning and you're starting to arch as you come toward the top position. Or if you really feel it in your hamstrings, more than likely your feet are a little bit too far out, and that's resulting in the hamstrings getting a little bit more involved. So again, low back into the floor, dumbbell on the front of my hip bones, feet bent past, my knees bent past 90 by bringing my feet close to my butt, driving my feet flat, hip bones toward the ceiling, and that's going to result in my glutes being recruited to create hip extension.